Now I know this might sound strange, but for the first 45 years of my life, I thought losing weight was all about food.
In January 2019, I weighed 105 kilos. I was 46 years old, and for most of my life, I'd been overweight. Now, some years I was more overweight than others, but I hadn't been skinny since I was about 12 years old, and during those 34 years, I had, more or less, been trying to lose weight. Always on one kind of diet or fitness fad. I'd done Atkins, keto, intermittent fasting, calorie counting, CrossFit, squash back in the day, boxing, running, and guess what? All of them worked. I lost weight every time. Just not much, and it always seemed like a monumental struggle. I was always super keen for a bit, made some progress for a bit, and then, for one reason or another, the motivation faded. The old ingrained habits returned. I went back to my usual weight, which is probably about 20% over what I should be. 5 years ago, as the start of the new year came around, like a lot of you out there, I resolved to change. I would finally get in shape. Now this time, it would be different. But you know what, the crazy thing is that this time it was different. I didn't give up.
I overcame obstacles that would have completely derailed me in the past.
Hello, I'm John Kay, and in this series of videos I'm going to tell you what worked for me. How I was able finally to shed the weight, and I'm going to go through the 5 tips that you need to know so you can achieve your ideal weight too. Now I know these will work for you because they worked for me when almost nothing else had. So if you've tried everything and failed and are still going to try again this year in 2024, then stick around, like and subscribe so you can watch my story till the very end. And at the end, I'm going to show you what I looked like in December 2019. Now, did I fall off the wagon over the summer? Did I keep it going? How well did I really do from my starting weight of 105 kilos? Should we get straight into it? Now, I don't think it's any coincidence that the year I got in shape was the same year I started my master's degree in sports psychology. I believe the power of the mind is completely underestimated. It's so important in all areas of life, like business, sports, personal relationships, and of course weight loss, as that's why we're here. To succeed in any of these, you need to change your mindset. Now, the hardest thing about trying to lose weight is that it's all about trying to do less and not more, and that is difficult to get your head around, and even harder to do. You know, eat less, snack less, drink less, alcohol that is. And whenever I start a new fitness drive, and I've started a lot over the years, it's like an obsession. I just want to do stuff. I want to get up earlier, I want to go to the gym, I want to go to the gym before work and after work, I want to buy new shoes, I want to take action. Now, all of these things feel like you're taking action, making positive moves towards your new goal. But in the long run, doing less is what you need to do. And the act of not doing something does not feel very inspirational. It's not something you can write down on your to-do list. You know, I could go for a run right now. So could you. And when you get back, you'll feel like you've done something. You've taken action. You'll be hot, sweaty, and surely a step closer to your goals. Well, maybe. But it's more likely that you'll feel more hungry after the run. Coupled with the feeling of virtue at having actually done some exercise, you'll feel more likely to be justified in eating a little bit more than normal. Now, if you're not careful, you end up eating more calories than you've just burnt off. Hunger is such a powerful human drive. So the run has just got you further away from your weight loss goals. And with hindsight, you'd have been better off sitting down, getting stuck into a good book, or watching YouTube for a few hours. And that inactivity would actually get you closer to your goals. And that's really hard to get your head around, and I've struggled with that for years. It just doesn't seem fair. Now, the secret to weight loss isn't just about eating less, getting your steps in, going to the gym, or counting calories. It's also not a lack of knowledge that's holding you back. All the information you could possibly need on weight loss is already out there on the internet, and in this series of videos, I'm not going to talk about any of that. It's the way you need to think that needs to change. Without changing your mindset, you're likely to fail, just like I did many times before. Now, changing your mindset is not easy. Your personality and your outlook are shaped by your life experiences, family, friends, job, day-to-day stresses. All of these factors make you who you are today. And because all of these things change as well, you also need to understand you're not the same person who you were 5, 10 or 20 years ago. And let me start by talking about the overweight elephant in the room. Yes, calories. Eating more calories than you burn leads to weight gain. Now let me say that again, because I've spent years believing that it wasn't true, and there's a whole load of people out there trying to convince you that it's not true. But eating more calories than you burn leads to weight gain. Now look, I'm with you. Surely it can't be that simple. I must have a slow metabolism, or I can't process carbs, or I'm allergic to gluten or dairy, or whatever the latest trend is. Now, the truth is that nutrition researchers are actually pretty much agreed on this now. Despite the inaccuracies in calorie calculations and the difficulty in estimating how many calories each of us burns each day, calories in versus calories out is the only answer. The problem is, it's the answer to the wrong question. The question shouldn't be, have you eaten more than you've burnt off today? The question should be, why have you eaten more than you've burnt off? And the answer to that question is much more complicated and does not have a simple answer. So look, even if you don't believe the calorie equation to be true, and that's fine, disagreements are welcomed on this channel. What is far more important, what I realised back in 2019, is that the key to losing weight lies in understanding the impact of our mind on our actions and trying to change the why. Why are you overeating? By understanding the power of your mind and making conscious choices, you can achieve results even if you failed many times before. Look, your brain is kind of like a GPS, right? Always working hard to guide you towards your goals. But if you've been filling it up with negative thoughts and self-doubt, it might keep leading you to making unhealthy choices. You have the power to reprogram that GPS. It's all about creating new thought patterns and connecting positive emotions with making healthy choices. That's when the real magic starts to happen. So that's the first tip towards achieving your weight loss goals this year: changing your mindset. Now, there's so much more detail you can go into on this subject, but I think it's better to keep things simple. It's not easy to lose weight, but knowing what to do isn't hard. Now, if you're interested in learning what the next steps are, then please subscribe to the channel. You can also sign up to my email newsletter, where I'll be going into this subject in much more detail, link down below. And look, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. If you want to know what the second step towards your weight loss goal is, you can watch the next video right away by clicking here. And with that out of the way, it's time for me to get back to doing less, so I'm off to read a good book. See you next time.